Hi. I've been playing skateboarding games basically as long as I can remember. So when the new skate game was announced in 2020, I was super stoked. But then, it kinda just disappeared. That was until 2021, when the official Skate channel released We're Working on It, which basically showed some behind the scenes footage and that they were still making the game. Also around this time, leaks started popping up online, showing a very untextured early build of the game, but I still felt like it had potential. Fast forward to today, the game is out to the public and has been for a few months. So, how did it turn out? But before we get to that, what is Skate as a franchise? Developed by EA Black Box, Skate, not to get confused with Skate, was released in fall of 2007. This game introduced the Flick It system, which uses your control sticks to do tricks instead of using the face buttons on your controller like previous games had, like Tony Hawk for example. The goal of the game was to start your own skateboard company and try to get more sponsors by completing challenges you can find. Throughout the entire Skate series, there were also a ton of real pro skaters that you could go up against, skate with, and even play as. That formula carried into the next two games, and the series just kept getting bigger. Skate 2 alone sold about 1.9 million copies, and then Skate 3 one-upped it by selling close to 5 million copies. With this kind of legacy behind it, expectations for the new Skate game were insanely high. Fans weren't just asking for another skateboarding game. They wanted a true follow-up to Skate 3. And while the game definitely has some big problems that I'll get into later, I want to actually start with the positives because there are a lot of great things I like about this game. First off, the game is free and super accessible. It's on all modern PlayStation and Xbox consoles, as well as being on Steam for the first time, so way more people can actually play it. However, this accessibility comes at a literal cost, and we'll talk about that later. Another aspect about this game I really enjoy are the big collaborative servers. Being able to see other skaters in the open world makes the city feel alive most of the time, and being able to collaborate with your friends to make skate spots is awesome when it works. But the most important thing is that the game feels like a skate game. The Flick It system from previous games is still here of course, and the skating just feels so good and fluid. And on top of that, the new upgrades like rolling and climbing are great additions. They don't replace the skating entirely, but they allow you to get some extra flair in your tricks or get to new skate spots. With all that being said, I do have some problems with the game. Some of these problems come out of the fact that they missed the basics, and some feel like they were made just to milk the game for what it's worth. So, let's start with the missing features. Many game modes have been cut from the game, including classics like Death Race and Skate. Both of these, I'm pretty sure, have been in every single iteration of the Skate games, but yet here, they're just completely absent. What they're replaced with is just the same challenges at the same spots that are just rotated through every week. I have seen the same skate lines over and over again, and you rarely get to see any new areas. A number of tricks you could do from previous games have even been removed, like the dark flips, which we have to wait until Season 3 for, and finger flips, which aren't even on the roadmap to begin with. It's also missing hitching onto cars to get a ride, and your board getting worn after doing a bunch of tricks. They're tiny things, but those details really matter. Then, there's the customization, which is also lacking from previous titles. Your board, for example, has new customization options like grip tape color and grip tape pattern, but tightening your trucks and wheel hardness is just completely gone. Placing stickers on your board makes a comeback, but now you can only place them in 3 predefined positions and orientations instead of having the free reign like you had in the other games. The options for your skater themselves is also pretty limited. In Skate 3, almost every top you could acquire in the game had 3 different ways of wearing it on your character. Most hats you unlocked in the game as well also had other options you could use for them, allowing you to make your perfect skater. However, these features are also completely removed from the game. In this newest installment, there is seemingly a lack of branded skater clothing you can wear, unless you dish out some money, of course. This, of course, means you have to resort to the bland, copy and paste clothing that they put in the randomized loot boxes you can unlock. Tattoos are also missing until Season 3, and I highly doubt they're gonna have the freedom that the tattoos and the stickers had in Skate 3. And finally on the list, the world and the story. The story in the newest Skate game feels absolutely lackluster. As I said before, previous games would have you try to get sponsors to make money or to sell more skateboards. The way you would do these things were by completing photo challenges for magazines, doing the actual X Games, or just going one-on-one with pro skaters in the street. It gave you the sense that you were building your legacy brick by brick, and it was really great. All of this, however, is just completely gone in this game. There are 0 pro skaters in the story. There are basically 0 characters in the story in general. The only people that do show up are Izzy, Slappy, and Shingo. You also don't get to see any of them in person either. They're just static images and text boxes. It's quite lame. Another lame thing is the lack of interactions that you can have with the NPCs that populate the world. For example, in Skate 3, you could use your arms to knock other skaters off their board. You could also pick up your skateboard and use it to hit anything or anyone in the world as well. If you did this to pedestrians, they had a chance to tase you or stuff like that, and it was super funny. These little things just gave the world even more life, which is definitely lacking in this title. The worst offender of all, though, is... But before we get to that, let's talk about the newest controversies that have been causing havoc in the skate community. First, on February the 12th, the devs posted an update about the state of ticks, which is the currency you use to progress through their version of a battle pass. In this post, the community was hit with the news that ticks would no longer roll over into the next season, no matter if you earned them manually or paid for them with real money. Obviously, this did not go over well. Then, on February the 19th, we were told that we would be getting a brand new addition to the map. But, oh, what's this? To get access to this new addition, you'd have to pay for the premium version of their battle pass. You could wait 2 months for it to come out to the general public, except even then, you don't get access to it because they locked it behind 24-hour vouchers that you have to purchase with earnable tokens. So essentially, the skate devs are paywalling an entire portion of the map for months, and even then, access isn't free. Oh, and the cherry on top? Back in July of 2022, in this video, the devs said this
That's why when we decided to explore this model, we made some hard ground rules to follow. The first one is that Skate is not pay to win. There are no areas of gameplay or the map that you have to pay to unlock.
You lying? Yeah.
And as of the day I'm posting this video, they have not gone back on the change or really even addressed the whole issue other than this post. Needless to say, this killed any and all enthusiasm me and a lot of other people had for this game. The worst offender of all, though, is V. V is your companion that follows you around in the game. In the other games, your companion was an actual cameraman that would give you compliments or dish out insults depending on the situation, and it was honestly one of the most memorable parts about the games. But now, it's just replaced with a robot that says the cringiest and the most nothing burger comments.
Your female parent said, knock those objectives out. Vocab Education Refresher. Footy is short for footage. Do you like doing the line thing?
In my opinion, they should have just made Izzy your companion since they're the first person you meet other than V. And the funniest part is that even the devs must have found V annoying because there's literally just an on-off toggle switch in the settings for it. So, here's my final take. If you're looking for the perfect skate game, one with skater culture and a real story, I wouldn't recommend this game. These things honestly feel more like an afterthought than the priority. But if you're looking for fun mechanics and that classic skate gameplay, there is something here worth playing. I just hope they continue to expand on it and make it a complete product. But let me know what you think in the comments, especially if you've played the older games, because I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And as always, have a good one. Is this not true, bro? Oh my god. I was trying to do a grind and it just launched me, bro.